I kind of knew that a plain and ugly person like you was never meant for the son of a CEO like Abel. Don't you feel the same way? That's kind of why I'd like you to give up on that wedding with him now. All you'll be doing to yourself by having it is making yourself even more embarrassed, right? Huh? What's all this about now, Astrid? As a longtime friend of yours, I thought I'd just tell you the truth straight up. Everyone else around you are all being way too kind, trying to be nice to you and not hurt your feelings about this, right? How great you must feel to have an honest friend like me around, right? Now, as a way of appreciating that, could you please listen to what helpful advice I've given you? Helpful advice? None of what you've said to me was helpful in any way at all, though. All you're doing is sending me some really rude texts right before my wedding of all things. And as for who I'm getting married to and what they have to do with me, it has nothing to do with you at all, right? Marrying the son of a really successful CEO is not something that suits you, Helen. I like to think that someone like you is far better off marrying a man working in trades or some other dirty work. Huh? What the hell are you trying to say about me right now? What do you think you're going to achieve by coming to me and saying such things? Do you find it fun to say rude things to me now? What? Why is it so hard for you to understand how kind I'm being right now? We are longtime friends, aren't we? That's why I'm saying all of these things out of the kindness of my heart. You should be thanking me for doing that. You just called me ugly and plain, as well as not being fit for someone like my fiance. What about all of those things was very kind of you, and what should I be thanking you for? None of what you're saying is making any sense at all right now, Astrid. Well, it's not like there's any reason for you to be getting prepared for marriage anyway, because you're never going to be able to get married to a man of that caliber. Ugh. If all you want to do here today is talk down to me about what I'm doing and the person that I am, then how about you just stop and find something better to do with your time? I hope you're looking forward to what's going to happen tomorrow. I would like to say that to you, actually. By the way, did I even invite you to my wedding in the first place? I'll see you tomorrow. I really have no clue what all of that was just about. Just cut it out with all that crazy weird stuff and go do something else with your time, please. You're just creating a larger boundary between you and I is all. Goodbye now. I know it's only 10 minutes before your wedding is supposed to start, but I'll be taking your fiance from you now. Having now just lost your groom to me in such a sad way, I hope you live the rest of your life in despair. Huh? Once again, I have zero clue what all you're going on about right now, so do you care to explain? Your groom, Abel, ended up choosing me over you because I'm better. I guess he never really was into you all that much. By the way, when you put yourself and me side by side, of course any man would want to choose me. And Abel has told me that I'm the woman for him. And no matter how he compares you and I, he can see that I am far better off becoming the wife of a CEO than you are. Hold on a second, so that means you're with Abel right now? I was just told that Abel went missing a little bit ago, which means that he ran off to be with you now? That's right! You miserable bride. This should put you in your place for once and force you to never try for a man of Abel's type again. But of course, I'll be inviting you out to our wedding soon. So please look forward to the day that will be happening on. There's no way something like this could be happening. I'm cutting ties to you for good after the crap you've pulled this time. You have done something so unimaginable and wrong that I don't think I can even talk to you anymore. You and I are longtime friends, though. It wasn't my fault that you could never understand how ugly and plain you've been. I'm tired of talking with you now, Astrid. There is nothing left that I have to say to a monster like you, so goodbye. Abel, where have you run off to? It's time for the wedding to start now, and you're nowhere to be found yet.
I'm sorry, but I can no longer marry someone like you, Helen. I ended up finding the woman that I've been destined for, so there was nothing else I could do. I learned that you were not the person I was meant to marry at the last minute of all times. So go ahead and cancel that wedding for us, please.
What? Are you seriously saying something like that right now? Are you seriously saying that you are going to leave me for my longtime friend Astrid now?
I don't want to compare the two of you in any way, but the fact that things had to happen like this with one of your longtime friends makes me feel a little bit bad. But I like to think that you and I being together only ever happened so that I could meet her. Had I been able to find Astrid before I ever started to date you, I would have totally chosen her and never had to hurt you like this. There you go. She is the one that I love the most and will be spending the rest of my life with. I love her.
Wow, that is frickin' disgusting.
Huh? Who the hell do you think you are calling this disgusting? I'm just allowing myself to follow my destiny instead of trying to make things work with a woman I was never meant for.
That is not the kind of crap you should be saying to your bride on the day of our wedding, though. Had that been the way you felt about me, you should have told me a whole lot sooner. There would have been time to cancel this wedding weeks in advance, and then all of these guests of ours wouldn't have had to waste their time coming here today. Are you really okay causing them all this trouble now? What are you going to say to your parents when they ask you about all of this? You've really gone and shown us how selfish you are now.
I'm sure that my parents will be just fine with the path that I've chosen. And thank God all this happened before I went to the courthouse with you and legally got married. Now let's both go and live our different lives apart from one another.
Seriously, this is all so insane that I'm not even sure how to feel about any of this anymore. Now all I can think about is how crazy not only you are, but Astrid is, as well as your parents, who I'm sure won't actually give a damn. Just remember that it's not me going to be regretting all of this, but you and your family, Abel. And if you do happen to forget, I'll make sure to come around and remind you all of what you've done.
What are you trying to say you can do to us that'll make us all regret this day? Stop crying like such a bitch now just because I found my true love. Just give it up already and go find yourself a new man who'll actually love you, unlike me, and be happy that way. Although it's going to be pretty difficult for you to become as happy as Astrid and I'll be.
Go ahead and say whatever you'd like. I have no reason to be comparing my future with yours, considering you all will be on a completely different level of hell after today. Anyway, go ahead and enjoy that new path you've chosen, asshole. Hey, has the invitation made its way to your place yet? You're going to come out to our wedding for us, right? We happen to be longtime friends with one another after all. Huh? An invitation? Now that you mention it, something like that did come in the mail for me. What? You still haven't taken a look at it yet? Go and open it right now, please. That invitation is for one of your most important friends' weddings, after all. And you promised to come to it no matter what. I have no reason to go anywhere you'll be at. It's only been a little while, and yet you've forgotten what you've done to me already? Oh, and by the way, have you taken a look at today's news by any chance? Why are you trying to change the subject of this conversation on me now? Are you still that upset with me after what happened? Well, whatever it is on TV has nothing to do with me. I am at that point now where nothing will stop me from being as happy as I am. This is going to be the most luxurious wedding ever held. Oh, the most luxurious wedding ever, huh? Let's just hope that can actually happen for you now. Stop acting so jealous about it. If you keep on hating me like that for what I've obtained, then you're going to live the rest of your life in darkness. Are you wanting me to apologize to you for all of this or something? Well, here you go. I'm so sorry that I stole your CEO's son of a fiance from you right before your wedding. But now that wealthy young man that I'm marrying is going to have a very expensive wedding filled with all the most prestigious of guests, so a loser like you has to come as well, all right? So you haven't seen the news about their company going bankrupt? What? It's on the news right now if you turn on a TV. Well, there were talks about that company going under for a while now, so that's nothing new to see. So watching as that company goes bankrupt now is not a shocker. This happened because they lost their contract with my company. Huh? What news are you talking about? You're just joking about all of that, right? Are you that upset with everything I've done to you that you'd lie about my fiance's family now? Not at all. I really don't care about you enough anymore to waste my time doing something as petty as that. I'm just trying to tell you the facts about your fiance's dad's company is all. How about you have a look at the news now? Hold on a second. What kind of news is this? Huh? Are you sure this isn't some kind of fake news that you've made up? Why would anybody care to make up fake news about that company, Astrid? But you know this did all happen after you decided to steal my fiance from me, which led to that contract being ended. I like to think this was a great outcome for myself now that I really think about it. But in your case, this kind of sucks to hear, right? I'm sure that fancy wedding you were planning to have with all of those guests isn't going to be very fun now. Huh? What the hell does that mean? If that wedding isn't going to be as fun as I've been thinking, then what's going to happen to my marriage to Abel? What about all of those prestigious guests his dad was inviting? I've already sent out all of the invitations with Abel for the wedding. Are you trying to make it sound like my wedding is going to have to end up being canceled or something now? I don't even think you're going to have one in the first place. Abel's father just lost his company of all things, which means they won't be able to afford a wedding for you guys anymore. And when it comes to Abel himself, he just lost his job, right? As you can see on the news right now, the CEO of that company ran away. If the banks aren't able to find his father, that means Abel, being the one who is next in line for the position of CEO, will have to take on that responsibility for his father. Well, as his soon-to-be wife, you'll just have to do your best to support him as he struggles, right? What are you talking about? You're saying his dad ran away? There's no way something like that could have happened to that family. Why would a dad like Abel's be willing to run from his own company and leave all of that mess to his son? Could he even be considered a parent for doing something like that? Why are you asking me all of that? Just look at the news, for crying out loud. Asking me is just a waste of both our time, as I don't actually care about that family anymore, you dumbass. Now, because none of that matters to me, go find someone else to cry to. Please. Why, at a time like this? His company went bankrupt. There's no way something like that could be happening. Was it because the company wasn't getting good enough results? I never knew something like that could even happen to a company like theirs. Hey, how about you take a look at the news and stop texting me now? All I've seen is that Abel's father was embezzling money from the company. And no small amount of money either. He was also going and covering up any of the company's faulty product so that he could meet sales goals his company set. And, well, both of those things led to a massive problem on their hands. Sure, my company may have pulled out of that contract last minute, but had we been any later, and things might have bit us in the butt as well over there. What do you mean when you keep saying your company? That company that Abel's father has been running just so happens to be one of the companies I've been watching after for my company, which means we had a contract between one another when it came to business. It was actually because of that contract that I met with Abel and started to talk with him a lot. And whenever he'd tell me about all the details of his father's company, I knew something smelled a bit fishy. So after taking a look into things by myself, I noticed there were plenty of issues with the way Abel's father ran that company, and I went to my boss about it. That led to my boss initiating a proper investigation into Abel's father's company, and soon after that, the issues were completely exposed. What? So, in other words, all of this is your fault! Why are you going to blame me for all of that? I never went and embezzled money from my own company or hid product defects. All I did was come across those issues and bring them up to my boss. The only ones who should be blamed right now are your fiancé and your fiancé's father. Because of the bad choices they both made, their company sank. Wouldn't you call that them both getting what they were asking for? So you took things that far in order to ruin our wedding? There's no freaking way something like this could happen. I can't believe this. Ruin your wedding? Wasn't it you that waited until 10 minutes before my wedding to tell me that you stole my fiancé from me and that he'd no longer be coming back, resulting in my ongoing wedding being ruined? Well, it's not like I held anything against you for that, because you saved me a lot of trouble by ending things between Abel and I. I'm glad I didn't have to become family to some criminals. I'm really happy that I didn't ever have to marry that pile of crap man either. What the hell? Are you making fun of me now? Of course I am. But I wasn't the one who started this, considering you were the first one taking the crap out of me, right? And hey, didn't things end up the way you wanted them to with me? We should both be happy right now with our new lives. Sure, it sucks that your wedding may not happen anymore, but thankfully this happened a bit before your wedding day, so You ended up better than I did when you took my fiance. How could this be any good for me? Tell me right now, what about all of this should be making me happy? You ended up the same as me, right? You didn't have to go through all of that crap like the wedding and marrying criminals, right? Unless what you're saying is... Astrid, did you already get married to Abel at the courthouse or something? You thought I wouldn't be married to him yet? We went to the courthouse a long time ago in order to become husband and wife. Are you serious? Well, now you've really gone and done it to yourself. I didn't think that someone like you could actually be as stupid as that. Who are you calling stupid? I was afraid that someone as miserable as you would try and get back at me by stealing my Abel from me, so we freaked out and got married as soon as we could, which makes all of this your fault now. Do you understand what I mean by that right now? You have gone and ruined my whole life because of that now, so you're going to take responsibility for it. Wait. I didn't know that I was you, too. Well, if that's the case, can I have whatever things you have right now? Your money, your clothing, even your place? What? Well, you just made it sound like I have to take responsibility for you screwing up your own life, right? Which means that I must be you as well. Or are you just that frickin' dumb that you're trying to push your own mistakes off onto someone else? That would be a massive mistake right there if that's the case. You went and did all of that stuff to yourself, so you take responsibility for it. Are you really unaware of the fact that you did all of that to yourself? But then who's going to compensate me for this whole mess? Compensate for your mess, you mean? I don't completely understand. What are you trying to say here? My wedding! If things don't change soon, then I won't be able to have it, right? Who is going to compensate me for that? That's something I don't know about or care to know about. And since it's your wedding, how about you figure that one out? And hey, how about instead of talking to a complete stranger about all your problems, you talk to your husband? You both married one another, so how about you do what husbands and wives do and fix your personal issues yourselves? Anyway, I hope things go well for you guys. Wait a sec, Helen, I'll give you Abel back. Huh? What the hell do you mean you'll give him back? I mean what I just said. I don't need someone like Abel anymore, which is why I'll be handing him back over to you now. But that means you'll have to give me back my peaceful life where I wasn't married to these idiots. I actually have no idea what the hell you're talking about now. Goodbye. I don't need trash like that, so have a good day now. I've got a good life of my own now, so no littering idiots are going to pollute my garden. So goodbye forever now, you crappy longtime friend. And P.S. We aren't friends or anything, so stop talking to me like you know me. I hope you both find a way to make that hell comfortable together.
Helen, do you think you can talk right now? I have something that I'd really like to apologize to you about right now.
No thanks, don't have time for trash like you. And since you are trash and I don't speak to your kind, we won't be able to understand one another anyway. So goodbye now.
Hold on a second, Helen. What the hell am I supposed to do in this situation? Hey! Stop trying to act like you can just leave me here like this. I'm trying to talk with you right now because I've thought everything through, okay?
What the hell do you keep calling me for? Make whatever the hell you have to say quick and then leave me alone.
I made a mistake! My mistake was choosing someone like Astrid over you! I should have just looked away from her and stayed on track to marrying you! I get that this is the worst time to ask this, but could you please forgive me?
Forgive you? Forgive what about you exactly? I'm not mad at you or anything, Abel, so what is there to forgive you for?
What? You're not upset with me? Well, that's freaking great news to my ears. That'll make things a whole lot quicker for me. Let's get married.
Huh? So who was it today that made you hit your head that badly? Because there's no way in hell you could just be asking me that without there being something completely wrong with your head. You're already married to Astrid, aren't you? So you can't marry me now. Oh, wait. Are you just trying to marry me now because your daddy's company fell flat? Seriously, man?
If you can get that contract going again with my father's company, then I'm sure he'll come back to me and take the blame for whatever crimes he committed. So please, let's talk about this all together in a more serious fashion.
Do you have any idea what you'd done before I cut ties to you? I'm not joking here. 10 minutes before our wedding, you ran off with my longtime friend and never came back, which then caused me to have to cancel our wedding and everything. And I'm not just blaming you for that, because Astrid is just as much to blame. But right now, you seem to act like none of that was a big deal to us all. And that you can get my help in saving your daddy's company again?
I know that. I'm sure a lot of that is true. But I've learned my lesson from all of that. And I've learned that Astrid only wanted me for my father's and my money. Choosing her over you was a major mistake of mine that I want to fix now. So Helen, will you please come back to me? I want to become happy with you now, which means I'll go and divorce her right now.
Honestly, men like you are even more crappy than I first thought you'd be.
Why the hell would you say something like that about me? You told me you weren't upset at me, yet that seems to have been a lie now.
I wasn't lying when I said I wasn't mad. I just don't give a damn about you anymore is all. And you and your family's company has nothing to do with me anymore, so to be frank, I just don't care what happens to all of you.
You don't give a damn about me? You and I were gonna get married to one another, yet now you're telling me you don't care about me anymore? Could something like that even be possible?
Alright, Abel, let me explain this to you then. When you both went ahead and did something so unthinkable that it actually made my head hurt for a few days, I lost interest in everything that had to do with you. Also, when it comes to your daddy's company going under, that was all due to your daddy's doings. And you being the next in line for the position of CEO should have meant that you'd step in when you saw what he was doing and saved the company you were going to inherit, right? Yet you never could do that even when I warned you to, instead waiting for things to go to hell before asking me to come back. You are nothing more than a fake man and one who should never step near the position of CEO ever again.
You don't have to say all of that to me now. I already know that. But I don't care what all I did then because I just want you back now.
And I strongly decline. Now you stop talking to me forever, you pile of shit. Go find your wife now and burn in hell with her, please. Goodbye forever, you asshat. I know that this might not be the best time for this, but I really want to apologize to you. Shut the hell up. A few weeks ago, your dumbass husband tried what you're doing now, and it's not going to work. And didn't I tell you to never talk to me again? Screw off. I don't care to talk anymore. And as for that apology, go and shove it up your pussy or something. We aren't anything anymore, and we never will be. But I want to become your friend again. And it's all because of that crappy man that our relationship as friends to one another was ruined in the first place, which has left me very sad. I've made sure to leave him now because of that. Ooh, is that right? Well, thank God for that, I guess. Now you won't have to deal with all of his self-inflicted responsibilities anymore, right? Great. But I've already had to deal with them enough. Due to us having been married when he took on all that debt from his dad who ran off, he had to pay out of his own pocket in order to appease the banks, which left him with no money at all, and that meant he could never afford to pay me a settlement in the divorce. How awful, right? And as for my family, they all disowned me, so I have nowhere left to go. Helen, could you please help me? Huh? What? So you came here after I told you to screw off forever, asking for my help of all things? Are you actually serious right now? What makes you think I'd ever help your ass? You already know you're helpless, don't you? I don't have anyone to ask for help anymore. You're the only person in my phone that hasn't blocked me yet and I can still get in touch with. You can understand why, right? I promise to apologize, so please. Allow me to say this. I have never once thought of you as anything more than an annoying bitch, okay? What? What do you mean by that? Sure, we lived close to one another when we were little, which meant we always were playing around one another. But I always saw you as this little pain in the ass and nothing else. Remember how you'd always take all my things from my house and break them all? I always hated you for being such an asshole, but now that we're adults, I've learned to just forget about you entirely. You're lying, right? I thought you were one of my closest friends. Sorry, but I never thought that about you and have never wanted to talk to you. You're probably the most annoying person I had to deal with growing up, so now I can say that you need to go screw yourself for what you've done. Now that you've been told that, how about leaving me alone and dealing with all that yourself? And one other thing, stop acting like such a selfish bitch, please. If you want people to stay around you, you have to act like you're actually worth being around in the first place. Anyway, good luck with all of that. And this time, I'm just going to delete all of your contact info after blocking you. So goodbye forever! After having gone and told Astrid how I have truly felt about her all these years, I was able to block her and delete her contact in my phone. And from what my parents have told me back in her family's neighborhood, her parents weren't kidding about disowning her. And so when she tried to step back into their house, they yelled at her to screw off, calling her an embarrassment to everyone in that neighborhood. Right now she's out there somewhere working a few jobs, trying to make up all the money she had to lose, renting her own place and moving far away from the rest of us. I know that I really don't have to think about what happened with her anymore, but I really am thankful that she got in the way of my marriage with Abel and saved me from all that needless hell. And what happened with Abel, you might be asking? Well, he ended up being stuck with all the crimes his father had committed in the company, as he was always there to witness them taking place, and that would leave him in a lot of debt after paying all the legal fees and fines off. His father never could be found, and based off his spending, he has bought a one-way ticket to Russia and took his wife with him in order to never be found again. I'm not sure what all has happened with Abel since the divorce, but from what some of my friends have told me, he ended up selling his parents' home in order to get the money to pay off his debts, and has gone and left town in order to start a new life. I'm not sure how well things are going to go for him out there, but considering his name was all over the news like his father's, he can probably forget about ever finding a company job like the one he had ever again. As for right now, I'm going to go out there and find someone else who can make me happy, and I mean make me really happy. And of course, considering I'll never have to hear from those dumbasses anymore, I'll be happy no matter where I go or who I'm with next. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
By the way, Lily, whatever happened to you bringing me a grandchild? I'm getting pretty old over here, so I'd like to see my grandchild's face pretty soon.
You're going on about that again? You and I have already talked about how we aren't thinking about a kid yet, right? We're moving at our own pace over here, and we don't want to be rushed. So please, just stop bringing things up about babies for the time being.
The fact that you're saying things like that must mean you can't even bear a child then, right?
Huh? What is that supposed to mean, Jennifer?
You've been acting very strangely. You have all this time on your hands being a housewife right now, and yet you still won't get pregnant with my son's child. That's strange. You have to be hiding something from us, right?
I'm sure I've said this plenty of times now. I am not a housewife right now. I am working from home, as a matter of fact. I'm sure something like that is incomprehensible to someone of your age, but couldn't you at least try to understand me?
Ugh, that lie again. It's always so easy to tell when you're going to pull out that lie on me. You really need to try better at hiding things that you don't want others to know about. Maybe take some classes from a pro on how to lie.
What? I'm not lying right now, though. Tell me, what makes you think that I'm lying to you?
What you're trying to say to me is that you work remotely from home, right? To be someone who can work from home for a company all the time, you'd have to be pretty dang amazing, right? You can't possibly be that smart of a woman to do something like that, right? You didn't even go to college, making you a pretty dumb woman.
Ugh, that's right. I never went to college, automatically making me a really stupid woman. Ha ha ha. No matter what evidence there is that shows otherwise, you're always going to say that about me. Well, that's fine with me then.
Oh, are you getting a little upset now? There really is nothing cute about you. You can't make any kids and can't work a proper job. You're so ugly that you can't possibly see yourself being unfit for my son. Yet for some reason you keep trying to be his wife. How about you get on with that divorce already, please? It would save everyone else around you a whole lot of pain and time.
I've told you that we both do not want kids yet. How many times must I say that for you to get a hint? By the way, here's something a little more urgent that I need to tell you about. Would you stop coming into our house all the time and taking things from the kitchen?
I'm just coming over to make sure that the food you're cooking isn't gross and inedible. If you were to be feeding my son bad cooking, I wouldn't allow you to continue getting away with it. It seems that so far you've been making decent food for him, so that's good. But today that stir-fry you made was a little light on the seasoning, right?
That's the amount of seasoning that your son happens to like on his stir-fry. I always make sure to check with what he likes before I cook, so stop worrying about what I'm doing for him. Also, when you came in to check on that stir-fry, you went and ate most of it, leaving barely any for your son to have at dinner. He was pretty upset by that, you know?
Well, that's your fault for not making enough of that stir-fry for me to enjoy as well, right? If you're going to make food like that for dinner hours prior, then you need to make enough for everyone. How come you aren't already aware of things like that?
Because we never asked for you to come over to our house. The only reason I made that food up around lunch is because I was going to be out late that evening and wasn't going to have time to cook with Brent home. But then you came in before he came home and ate most of the food, which neither of us expected to happen. If you had told me before that you'd be coming and wanting food, then I would have made you something to eat as well.
I make decisions like coming over to your house or not on the fly. It's a real pain in my butt to always have to tell you when I plan to be over at your place or not. That's why I just show up when I want to, like yesterday. And what's so wrong about that? I ended up making him some food in your place in the end.
The thing is, with you acting like that, you're bothering the both of us. I make a schedule for the week of what I plan to make and buy groceries based on that. You coming in and making food like that with those ingredients ends up ruining my plans. And I have to go back to the store to buy more things.
If you're getting all bothered by that, then you must be a really picky woman. I guess you really aren't fit for my son, like I was saying. How about you leave him now? There's no way I can live with my son being married to a woman who's always so upset about the smallest little things. If you want to stay with him, then why not try to deal with things a bit more?
The fact that you keep acting so wildly makes it very difficult for Brent and I to focus on our lives. At the very least, let me know that you want to come over before you start coming. Although by that point, there wouldn't really be any reason to telling me now, would there?
Being married to Brent also means that you have to deal with me. If you don't like this, then you are more than free to leave him whenever you please. I will not care.
Why do you have so much confidence in yourself like that? If you keep things up, you're going to really piss off your son, and then things will not be easy for you anymore.
I think it's time you started to realize some things. I am able to do whatever I want to you when I want to. I can make you leave my son at any moment, and until you understand that, I'm going to keep doing things that set you off. I already hate the fact that a useless woman like you is the wife of my Brent, making it almost impossible for him to ever live a happy life.
From what it sounds like, you're trying to cause drama in our relationship then. If that's the case, then I've had enough. There's no point in wasting any more of my time with you, so let's call it here. I have some things to tend to now, so I'll be going.
I'm sorry that my mom has been causing more problems for us. But you were at least able to deal with her without there being too many emotions, right? And were you able to make it where you needed to go?
Yeah, I'm fine. And I just arrived and got done checking on a few things. I've been pretty busy here, actually, so I'm sorry for not texting you sooner. How was work today?
I was able to say everything I needed to. And because of that, I'll be able to move on to the next couple of steps. But I have to ask you, are you really okay with all of this? As a man who would like to be like a boy sometimes, I'm a bit upset with how things have had to end up. I would love to do so many more direct things, but that would be immature of me, I'm sure.
What are you talking about? There's nothing about what you're wanting to do that's childish or rash. I know that you're putting in a lot of effort to help me out here, and that's all I care about. Although I hope you're aware that from here on out, you have to do more than just the bare minimum. Make sure you understand all of what I mean by that, all right?
I understand. No need to worry about that. From here on out, I'll make sure to do everything in my power to support you and what you do. And that's why this time, I'm going to give it my all to prove that to you. But, I really am thankful for this, Lily. Actually, for everything.
Don't worry about it. Also, I'd really been wanting for something like this to happen. I want to take care of all the problems you've been having along with my own. And actually, speaking of problems, there was some more things coming out of your mom's mouth today.
What? More? Was she going on about this yesterday as well? I'm sure she said all kind of stupid things this time, right? I'm so sorry about her.
Yeah, she was talking about what happened yesterday, but you don't have to be sorry for it. It was the same old from her, so I wasn't actually that surprised or hurt by any of it. But that was the last straw for me.
Yeah, I know. So far, it doesn't seem my mom has changed her stance on things whatsoever. I think that if we were to do nothing about her, then things would really get out of hand between us.
That's right. So let's make sure we get away from her as soon as possible. And if the small chance of her finding out about our plan does happen, at least we know there's literally nothing she can do to stop it. I think we should just let her keep having fun sifting through the kitchen and fridge while living in her fairy tale world where she thinks everything she's doing is all right.
Yeah, that's right. I really hope this whole plan goes off without any issues.
Don't worry, it will. I'm sure of it. Also, this will mean that for you and I, we'll finally have our dream come true, right? We should be getting excited about all of this.
Ah, that's a good point. But just know that there are a few things that I might want to say to her. I'm no longer her puppet anymore, so... And well, I want her to know that very well.
I can understand wanting that. And you have put in a lot of effort to get to where you are now. Even if most of that effort had to be used moving in a way your mom hoped for.
But thankfully you came along and made sure to tell me that it was okay not to do as she said. I am so thankful that you saved me from her.
You don't have to thank me for that, though. It was pretty obvious what was happening to you wasn't okay. Your mannerisms and such all told me signs that were as clear as day. Luckily, you really did listen to me and went to go see that therapist. Your mom really poisoned your mind.
She sure did. The scary thing is, I wouldn't have never been able to notice anything wrong with me on my own. To think that all those things she was doing to me weren't normal. That's beyond crazy to me, even to this day, Lily. But that did all lead to things like my anxiety being through the roof at times, and me passing out when I became overstressed.
Thank goodness I was there with you when you passed out. If something worse than that had happened to you, I don't know how I could have managed. I might have lived with so much hate for your mom that I would have never been able to free myself from it.
I always thought what she was telling me was right, and never noticed that what she was turning me into was the same monster that she is. I'm sure back then I was a huge pain for you to deal with, right?
Don't worry about that anymore. I'm over it all now, and we're almost to the finish line. And after we've crossed said finish line, you and I will finally be able to make the family we've always been wanting. I've heard all about what's happening. You both went and bought yourselves a brand new house, right? Well. I never thought you guys would do such a thing for me. How wonderful. Huh? You're right about how Brent and I bought a brand new house. But how does that have anything to do with you, Jennifer? Because I'm going to be moving in with the both of you, right? Oh, I've always wanted to live in such a large house like that one. So when I heard that my dream would finally be coming true, I knew things would be perfect for me. It would be even more perfect, though, if it was just my son and I living there. Hold on. What are you going on about right now? Did you think that you could hide buying that new house from your mother-in-law or something? Oh, I know all about this kind of stuff because of Brent. I'm going to live in that house with the both of you. It's already been decided, and there's nothing you can do to change it. I know that you hear about this sort of stuff from him, but you're not going to be moving in with the both of us, all right? And since when have any of your opinions ever mattered to me? I'm saying that I'm going to be living there with you both, so that's what will happen. That's what I thought you'd say. Well, if you can make it to the new house, then I guess you can live with us. I'd like to see you try, actually. So, you're letting this happen now? Hearing you actually agree with what's happening is a little bit disturbing, to tell you the truth. Well, it's not like anyone was going to listen to you anyway, so it's only natural that you learn to obey what I say. That's right. I'm glad we've both come to an understanding here, especially myself. Therefore, I'll no longer need to keep resisting you. So please come on over and move in with us. I heard from Brent already about when you're both planning on moving in. I hope you're both looking forward to seeing me again. We do indeed look forward to seeing you. By the way, I forgot to ask where your new house is. Could you please give me the address? I think I'm in the right area right now. I was thinking that by the time I got into this neighborhood, I'd see all kinds of large houses, but that doesn't seem to be the case at all. I think this house I'm in front of now is yours. Is the front door and everything open right now? What are you doing, Jennifer? We aren't going back to that area. Huh? What are you talking about? The house you both bought should be in this neighborhood, right? Who told you that was ever the case? That neighborhood? Are you talking about the neighborhood that Brent and I had been living in before? We didn't buy any house in that area. Huh? Then where the hell is the house you both bought? Tell me your new address right now. No thank you. I'm not in the mood to tell you where we're at. And even if I was, it wouldn't help you any. We're both overseas now, so what would you be able to do? What? What do you mean by that? We bought a new house overseas. Do you have a passport at all, Jennifer? I know you were saying before that you'd never been out of the US, but I thought I should ask. If you don't have a passport, you might need one before even attempting to look for us. Excuse me? So you bought a house outside the US? Why would you do that? You want to know why? Because both Brent and I wanted to get as far away from you as we could. Huh? Are you both trying to run away from me? Well, to be honest, that's right. We're both fed up with having our lives getting all messy because of you. So we thought that the best option was to put some distance between us and you. And that's why we're both overseas now. Are you frickin' kidding me? You know that I can't allow the two of you to do this to me, right? What? So what are you going to be able to do about this then? There is literally nothing you can do to us anymore. You both get a divorce right now. I am not going to let you get away with kidnapping my son from me. I will not allow this. You come back here right now and plead for my forgiveness. You really think that by throwing a fit like a child right now is going to get me to agree with you and come back? I'm sorry, but neither of us are coming back. Brent has had his eyes open to the kind of monster you are and agrees with me that he cannot go back to you. He's not going to do as you say anymore, so you better get used to that. Lily, have you gone and brainwashed my son? How dare you brainwash your own husband like that into hating his mother? You are the worst woman ever. I hope you realize that you're talking about yourself there. What happened to you brainwashing your son into being a younger version of you?
Because of you, your son was acting like a complete jackass, and it took a lot of work to get him back to the way a proper adult should act. I hope you understand just how much damage you did to him that won't be reversed easily.
What are you going on about? When it comes to kids, they take after everything their parents tell them. You have no idea what you're talking about right now, you useless wife. You have no place to talk when it comes to the way I've raised my son.
Then don't be upset by what's happened because of what you'd done. The way you raised him is the exact reason why he wants to run away from you forever now. You understand that, right? You tried to make him the same exact person you are, and as a result of that, he's running away.
That's because of you, Lily. You went and brainwashed my son into thinking I was the monster, and that's why he's leaving me. If he were to just keep doing things exactly the way I say to, he'd be happy right now. Give me back my son.
I'm sorry, but he is not your toy. He's not your doll, he's not your puppet. So stop asking for me to give him back to you like he is such a thing. Brent has had to grow up living under your oppression, being harmed by everything you said and did to him. When something he did wasn't what you wanted, you'd blame him for it, even though it wasn't even inherently wrong.
I sure did yell at him and blame him. Everyone knows that if a child does not do exactly as their parents ask, that they are in the wrong.
And that's why when Brent wasn't able to get into the company you told him he had to get into, he started to blame himself for everything and quite literally tore himself apart. Yet even after that day of pain and suffering under his own mental strain, he continued to fight now and found himself work where he'd made quite a bit of money actually. But getting there was not easy for him because of all the trauma he's received from you. The inside of his head is always a war zone. However, we're not going to let that happen anymore, and that's why we made sure to put a lot of distance between you and us.
That is not something you should be intervening in, though. That kid should be working at a far better company than the one he ended up in. Yet he started to date you and things began to change with him, and that's why he failed to get into that company. It was all your fault.
Believe whatever you'd like to, I guess. Just know that things did not end there for him, though. Once we got married, you only became more toxic and started to come over to our house and go through the fridge. You would complain about the things I made in front of him or to me over the phone, and then would throw things of mine away, eat them, or make your own dishes using the food I had bought. And it's not even like Brent liked the food you cooked for him anyway.
What did you say?
You've never once listened to anything your son has said to you, and that's why this will come as a shock. But Brent hates your cooking. And that's why when I said he liked his stir fry with less seasoning, I meant that. You have been a terrible mother, a toxic mother to the man, and it shows so clearly.
I thought you would be shutting up and listening to me now, yet you keep on yapping. There's no way on God's green earth that my son hates my cooking. You're just saying all of this to try and get me to leave you both alone.
No, actually, I'm not. Brent has said all of this himself. And by the way, another thing. The reason he and I haven't had any kids yet isn't because there's a problem with me. The doctor and therapist have told us that Brent's anxiety and stress has been the cause for our problem.
What? But when it comes to the woman never becoming pregnant, it's always her fault, right?
That way of thinking is about 100 years too old. Both Brent and I went in to see a doctor about this, and from the tests we had done, I was totally fertile and ready for a baby. But in Brent's case, there was a problem. And that problem most likely stems from him being so stressed all the time.
Well, if that's the case, then he's only stressed because you are his wife and he hates you. And that's why I've been telling you to divorce him all this time.
Well, actually, it's because you keep on talking like a prick. Right now, Brent is with me, looking at our conversation. But all he keeps saying under his breath is for you to shut up already.
Brent is with you? I was just trying to call him, but he wouldn't pick up. I've been worried about him this whole time. Oh, Brent, you leave that witch right now and come back to your mother's side.
He's laughing right now. He told me to tell you that from here on out, he's going to live his life instead of yours.
Why would you say something like that, Brent? I've been raising you in such a strict manner for your sake. Yet after all that time spent helping you along, you're going to treat me like this? Oh, you can't be serious. All that time growing up under your care, Brent knew he couldn't do anything to resist you, and so he had to give in. But even giving in wasn't enough for you, so when he failed you, you made sure he knew that. And that's why he's no longer going to view you as anything more than a monster. If you really want your son to come back to you, then you need to fix the monster you've become first, and then ask him for forgiveness. Although that might not even be possible considering you've been that kind of creature all your life, and to that I just say forget about your son now. You were the one that pushed him away in your toxic ignorance and selfishness, and you will not be pulling him back. Shut the hell up! I am tired of this BS. Now come back here. I will not allow this. Understood. Please continue to cry about it then. Because no matter what you say to us, we are never coming back. We're going to start our new life together today, and that means Brent is going to start getting used to being my housewife. If you have a problem with that and want to complain, then come and find this house we bought outside of the U.S. Well, I'm sure you'll have all sorts of complaints, so you're going to find it very hard searching the whole entire globe in whatever life you have remaining. Somehow, after all of that, Jennifer had a change of heart and started to apologize and beg for Brent and I to come back. But her pleas for forgiveness did not faze either of us, and we told her to never ever contact us again. This did not completely stop her though, as we both kind of expected, and so she continued to send text after text and call after call to us both. So in the end, both Brent and I blocked her number and made sure to block her from viewing any of our social media accounts as well. As for myself and Brent, we had a whole new world surrounding the two of us that we needed to start our new life in. I am still working my same old job, of course, as that's how I got a visa to move out here. And now Brent is helping me with said job to make sure I keep with it. He's also gone and started his job of being the housewife, and so far he's been saying he really likes it. There's nothing that can really stress him out in the house, and when it comes to cooking, he's started to learn how to cook a lot more of the local foods in the country, since a lot of them seem to be really tasty. I've got to say, I'm really happy that the both of us made this move, as it won't only keep that monster away from the both of us, but it will also culture us and slowly help heal my husband. A few weeks later, we did hear some more news about Jennifer and how she's been planning on moving into the new house with us. So she had her old place sold before she moved out. But because there was no house of ours for her to live in anymore, she was left with nothing and had to start from scratch. She tried to squat in her old house for a little while as the new owner was in the middle of getting ready to move in. But when he came inside to find her sleeping on the ground, he called the police and she had to wake up to them putting her into handcuffs. She screamed and cried and all that to not be taken away, but the cops said that they had to because she was illegally trespassing on the owner's property. She was only given a small fine of around $500 after that arrest. And once she was released, she really did have nothing more than a bag of clothing and the money she got by selling the house. However, instead of using any of that money to get herself a new place, she instead put it all into alcohol and gambling, and is starting to go to a completely new level of her life in hell. Honestly though, both Brent and I, we don't care at all that she's most likely going to be homeless for the rest of her life. Excuse me, Kylie. For an unemployed woman, where have you run off to? You come back here right now. I am very hungry right now.
I'm not unemployed, Mary. I have a job that I am working at full-time 5 days a week. Even more than 5 days a week sometimes. And since it's a weekday today, I am in the office right now getting some very important work done.
Huh? Oh, that's just your part-time job then. A part-time job is not considered working in this world. I'll have you know that the only people who should be working part-time jobs even are high schoolers.
I'm pretty sure that's just your view on part-time jobs then. And I know plenty of people who work part-time jobs where they make just as much, if not more, than a full-time worker.
And if that's really the case, then they should just be considered full-time workers for whatever business those are from the start. Now shut your mouth and come home. There is nothing made up for lunch today. What? I told you before leaving the house to order a pizza or something when you got hungry, right? Huh? Are you telling me you plan to have me eat pizza for lunch today? Pizza's nothing more than a snack. What kind of household were you raised in that taught you pizza was a proper meal? If anything, pizza can be a pretty expensive kind of meal. Tell me what kind of household you were raised in that told you otherwise. I was raised in a very wealthy family and was never ever expected to eat things like pizza for a lunchtime meal. Is that so? You should have been eating pizza because of the fact that you were wealthy. Anyhow, you come back here right now. If you don't, I'm not going to go easy on you. I cannot come back to the house right now. Please understand that for me. I have to stay at work. Ugh, I see. Then I guess I'm not going to be worried about you if anything goes a little bit sideways. What? Hold on a second now. What was that? If you're trying to threaten me with doing anything inside the house that would cause trouble for me, I'd highly advise that you rethink things. It's because of me that you're not on the streets right now having to worry about food at all. That goes for both you and your son. Huh? I was wondering what you were going to say next to me, and it turned out to be a whole bunch of gibberish. If you're not back in the house in 10 minutes, you're going to be punished. And start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! There's no way I can be back to the house within 10 minutes. And why are you counting all the way to 10 like that? Just come on, order a pizza or something, unless you need me to do it for you. There's no point in ordering me a pizza for lunch. Ugh, whatever. You just keep messing around with me, so I have no choice. You are not allowed to come back to this house today. What? Actually, not just today. From now on, you are no longer allowed to come back to this house. Well, wasn't it fun? You were able to enjoy your life in this high-rise apartment for a little while because of Nolan. Living here for 2 years was probably something you never thought you'd get to experience, right? Well, too bad it was such a short time. Mary? Telling me to stay away from my own home like that is not a good thing for you, all right? No, it's not a good thing for you, right? Nolan and I will no longer have to take care of a parasite anymore, and we won't have to eat your disgusting cooking any longer. Every part of this has benefits for us. I should have told you to stay away months ago. But I'm telling you right now that Nolan will not be happy with what you're saying to me. Nolan won't be? He's with me right now, and he's telling me that he's not against any of my choice. If anything, he totally agrees with me. What? What is going on here? Right now, we're both starting to throw all of your things out of this apartment. We're not going to be needing it anymore, right? What? Hold on a sec. At least leave my things where they are so that I can come and get them. I'm totally fine with leaving that place for good if that's what you both want, but leave all of my things in my room alone. If you start throwing all of my things out, then you're going to regret things even more than you already will. We're not going to regret a thing. Having your things in this place for any longer than it already has been here for is a pain in the both of our butts. We're going to have everything of yours thrown out by the end of today, so I hope you have enough money to afford new things. You're being a real jerk right now. Why are you doing all of this to me? Well, the reason for that is because you're a parasite. A leech. That's all. You are only allowed to live in a place like this because of my son, yet I see no appreciation from you for it. And that's why all of your things are being thrown out. Goodbye forever, Kylie. Ugh, all right already. When I'm finished with work, I'll stop by and salvage whatever is left of mine. You're frickin' dead, woman. Screw you. Nolan, what the actual hell is going on here? From what I've heard, it sounds like you've gone and thrown my things away and are kicking me out of my own apartment.
This is what my mom decided. I had no other choice but to follow her lead.
No, I don't think a fully grown man like you needs to be following that idiot's lead. I think you should have stepped in and told her to knock that crap off before I kick her out. Yet instead she told me that you totally agreed with what she was saying.
Well, this is a good chance for me, right? For as long as I can remember, you have always looked down on me. And I don't blame my mom for getting upset with you all the time.
What? I've been looking down on you? I never meant to look down on you if that's how things have been coming off. Do you really think I'd be working my butt off all the time and paying all the bills for someone I look down upon? Of course not.
That right there is you looking down on me. Right now you have been supporting me and my mom, right?
I have been, but what's wrong with me supporting both you and your mother? You both don't have a job or anything, so if I'm not the one working all the time and paying for everything, then who's going to step in and do that for me? I suppose that would mean I'm supporting you, but I'm not sure how that means I'm looking down on you in any way.
Shut up. Anyhow, I am fed up with you always looking down on me like that, and I will have to put a stop to it. Also, the only reason I'm unemployed right now is because the company I work for had major layoffs, so it's not my fault I'm in this position. Stop trying to make it sound like I chose to be jobless.
Then what has been happening with you since that layoff? Because it's been 2 years now and you still have done nothing to get a job.
Shut the hell up. I'm building back up my confidence right now. Also, I no longer need you to take care of me. Neither of us do.
What? Why is that?
Because I finally found myself a new job. It's a job that my mom helped to introduce me to, and the paycheck there is really good as well.
Oh. Well, I'm glad to see you found a new job. But are you sure it's okay to go with a job your mother introduced you to?
Huh? My family is very well off, and we have all kinds of high-up connections out there. You don't have to ask me if I'm okay with anything, because I have full confidence in whatever my mom has set up with me.
But wasn't it just your father who was well off? He's no longer around, so saying you still have all those connections...
You are always trying to nitpick everything I say.
That's because everything you say has so many unknowns to it, and I have to be sure you're not getting yourself into some BS. By the way, how could your mother have found you a place to work when you've never even told her you've been unemployed?
I explained to her that I wanted to change jobs. There is nothing wrong with me carrying on the lie like that to have her find me a job.
I see. Well, it's still kind of pathetic that you've been lying to her this whole time in the first place. And now you needed your mother to help you find a job as well? Well, who cares? This is all to my benefit, so no matter what happens to you both after today, I'm not going to be around to care about it.
We don't even need you anymore. Ah, that's right. Make sure to have the name on this apartment switched to me. Get all of that paperwork printed out for me and bring it back here tomorrow. Understood?
I was planning on doing something like that. However, the way you keep on bossing me around like that is really starting to upset me a little, so watch yourself, Nolan.
Ah, and one other thing. You and I are getting divorced. I'm sure you already guessed that though, right? My mom was actually able to find divorce papers in your room that have all been filled out and signed. I guess that means you'd been thinking about divorcing me this whole time, huh? Well, lucky for you, I've been thinking about a divorce for even longer.
Why are you prideful of that? Excuse me, Kylie, how much are you making every year? What? Why are you talking to me again? And why are you asking about my salary? Just shut up and answer me. How much do you make every year? What? Well, I'm making around $300,000 a year. But of course, that depends on how that year went. $300,000? Oh no. I know what this is about. You want to discuss the rent of that apartment. I was kind of wondering how the two of you would be able to afford a place like that where the rent is $8,000 a month. Kylie, why did you never tell anyone about that kind of money you've been making all this time? I was never trying to hide it from anyone. Mary, you don't even believe that I was working a full-time job outside the house when I was living with you, so why would I ever talk about my income? Honestly, I was getting pretty tired of how you'd always say I'm lying, and so I just played along with your fantasies. What the hell? Had you just explained the kind of job you had, I would have believed you. But the thing is, you weren't believing what I was telling you. You would always shoot anything I brought up down and then explain to me that I was lying to you about it, and then label my career as being a part-timer. Actually, why are you believing what I'm saying to you now of all times? I was on the phone talking with the landlord of this place, and they told me some things about you. They even ended up coming over to our apartment later in the day and showed me your business card. You're a CEO? Hey, the only reason I'm a CEO now is because of some really good luck. I was just doing the job I liked and somehow became a CEO after some time. Why are you acting so unfazed? Did Nolan know anything about that? Of course he did. He knew that I had become the CEO of my company and that I was paying for everything from the rent to the food for everyone in that home. Huh? Oh, did you just say everything? What do you mean? Right now, Nolan is working as well, right? Oh, so that means he was paying off some of the bills too, right? Oh, is that what he told you? Well, I guess I'll have to explain all of that to you as well. Mary, your son is unemployed right now. What? No way in hell he is. Oh, stop trying to lie about someone else's life, all right? He told me just a little while back that the company he works for has always been on him about everything, and the workplace harassment is driving him nuts. That's why he said he was starting to look for another job. He had been trying so hard for so long to find a new job and even asked me to help him. Think about it, please. All that time you'd been living with us in that new apartment, he was always in the house, right? Now that you say it, I guess he has been at home all the time. Not you guess. He has been in that house all the dang time. He wasn't even trying to hide the fact that he was unemployed from you that whole time, and yet you still fell for his lies when he said he had to go to work and wanted to change jobs. He's always been in that house for the past 2 years doing nothing. But you are such an idiot that you were never able to catch on. I'm an idiot myself, so don't think I'm trying to tear you down or anything with that. We'd all been idiots. The only idiot here is you. My son and I both come from a very wealthy and upper-class family. Why out of the three of us would the idiot be the one supporting the two others unemployed people who say they're wealthy? So then, this means he hasn't been trying to change jobs? That's right. He just lied about that in order to get you to find him a job. Hey, Kylie, do you think you could come back to us? Excuse me? Even though you were the one that kicked me out before? I never knew that the rent for this place was so high. And honestly, I had no idea that my own son didn't have the ability to pay for any of this either. I'll let you live in this place with us again, as long as you come back here. You'll let me live with you both again? How highly do you think of yourself? No matter what you try and say, I am not going back there. I'm overseas now, after all. What? Overseas? That's right. I was finally thrown out of my apartment for some odd reason and had the money to do whatever I wanted. So I went ahead and took some time off work to take a long and well-deserved trip to Europe. I'll make sure to pick you up a souvenir to bring back to the States. Hold on though. You both cut ties to me, so that's not going to work. I'll send you a picture of the souvenir I buy for you then later on. You're in Europe? When are you going to be coming back to the US? I'm not sure yet. I told my COO that I'd be out of the office for a few months enjoying myself, and since there's nothing wrong with my company at the moment, they told me I could spend as much time away as I needed to. I'm also still able to use my phone and everything here, so if there's a meeting I need to be in, I can do it remotely. So I'm very sorry to have to tell you this, but there is no hope in asking me for any help. I'm totally fine with you just transferring me some money into my bank account, so please start paying for our rent. Are you freaking insane? I'm out in a whole new world with a whole new set of cultures looking forward to using my money on the things that I want. You actually expect me to start paying two supposed wealthy people for their rent when they have nothing to do with me? And I understand that I am a CEO of a big company and everything, but $8,000 is still $8,000, right? That's a lot of money. Come on! Oh, that is such a far-fetched argument. No, I think it's a very fair argument to be made. So, are we done here now? I would really like to get back to the beach and take in more sun. You hold on for one more second. I won't. Goodbye now.
Hey, answer me right now, Kylie.
Huh? God damn it. I didn't think I'd ever be hearing from you again. Especially when I'm out soaking up some sun here in Spain.
Well, you get up from the sand and listen to me. I have been seeing all kinds of pictures you've been posting on your trip on Instagram.
Oh, man, I totally forgot to block you.
I don't care that I'm seeing you posting crap or anything like that. I want to know why you said all that to my mom. You told her about how I'm unemployed right now.
Oh, that's what you want to talk about? I told her because you and I are divorced now and you said you were cutting ties to me, so what was the point of keeping all of that a secret from her any longer?
Are you freaking kidding me? You've just gone and ruined all my pride now.
And what about my pride, Nolan? I was supporting you and your mother for 2 years, and yet out of nowhere the both of you treated me like a pest and kicked me out while throwing all my things away.
I don't care about your pride. Now give me some money. Right now, we are really in need of some cash.
Jeez, you are such a selfish little prick, Nolan. Whatever happened to the job your mom had introduced you to before?
About that.
Was that job a little less secure than you were thinking? Because I kind of figured the job wasn't going to be anything like an office job. No matter what way I thought about it, your mother is not some upper-class woman with all kinds of high-up connections.
Hey, we are seriously in some very hot water right now. I'm going to be honest with you. We need your help.
What? What kind of hot water are the two of you in?
The work that my mom ended up introducing me to was a group that worked as scammers.
Really?
My mom never noticed there was something wrong with the group. Maybe she did know there was something wrong with them, but just played it off like there was nothing. The moment I realized they were all bad news there, I left immediately.
What did you even end up having to do there?
I was having to call people using a fake number. One that also had no caller ID or anything attached to it. But I knew that it was all wrong, and so a lot of the people in the office went on break. I ran. And as I was on my way out, I noticed on the boss's desk that he left his drawer open, and there was an envelope of cash in there.
I see. Wait, don't tell me.
I grabbed the envelope and ran with it. But I regret doing that now. They were all scammers committing crimes every day to make money. I thought by taking some of their money from them, it would mean nothing and I'd be doing the world a service. That's all I thought at the time.
I can't believe you went and stole money from a group of scammers like that. Actually, I kind of expect something like that from you. So how much was in the envelope?
$8,000. I made sure to use it all for this month's rent. But I was shocked. I thought that after paying the rent, I'd still have around $7,000 left to use for myself, but it was all taken away by the landlord.
Huh? So even you had no clue that I was paying $8,000 a month for that apartment?
Of course I didn't know. You were the one paying the rent, right? I can't believe you of all people were paying that much rent for each month, just for rent. Amazing.
So you'd been living off your wife that whole time while she paid all the bills and yet never knew how much she had to pay? What a frickin' leech, Nolan.
Anyway, right now my mom and I really need some money. You have to understand just how depressing it is to watch $8,000 all vanish into this place rent, right?
Honestly, I don't understand that kind of feeling at all.
Luckily, that group has still not been able to find me. I'm sure they all think that a guy like me could not be living in a high-rise apartment right now. But the only issue is I can't stay here forever. There's no way I can afford to pay $8,000 a month. That's why, while I still have time, I need to start gathering funds in order to get myself out of here.
Well, I'm sorry to have to say this, but I'm in Spain right now. But thank you for telling me your thrilling story you had there, as I was pretty into it. Goodbye now.
What? Don't be thanking me. Do you have any idea what's going on here right now? I'm not going to ask you to come back here or anything. But I just need you to lend me a little bit of your money is all.
Sorry. To be straight up, I'm not getting myself involved with either of you two again. I like to think that what's happening to you both right now is well deserved, so I'm not going to try and help you run away from your punishment.
Kylie, please. Kylie, please. Respond to me, please.
Kylie, oh, this is all your fault. You went and abandoned us, and now my Nolan has... Yeah, I was pretty surprised myself that Nolan wasn't able to get away with stealing $8,000 from a group like them. But when you say that I abandoned you, I think you must be mistaken. Wasn't it you both who abandoned me? Stop it with those stupid arguments. This is all your fault. Also, as of right now, I've been kicked out of that apartment and no longer have anywhere to live. It's all because of you that this will be the end of me. Both Nolan and I knew what was going on here. You were planning on this happening to us the whole time. What? Are you freaking high or something now? You planned for all of this to happen, everything. You even had divorce papers for you and Nolan all filled out, even before we went and kicked you out of the apartment. Those papers were just in my room because I was really wanting to divorce him is all. I mean, I had to sit there and support both him and his stupid mother the whole time, all while he did nothing to get himself a new job and acted like he knew better than me. And then his stupid mother started to mess with me and act like I didn't even have a job that I was going to, all while her son just sat around being even more useless than my coat rack. That's kind of why I had that divorce paperwork all filled out in my room. Actually, I was planning on leaving you guys with some money had I been the one to initiate the divorce. What? You were going to leave us some money? Yeah, I would have felt bad leaving two mentally disabled people all alone with nobody to support them anymore. So the plan was to leave you guys enough money to support yourselves a little. But before I got around to all of that, you chose to kick me out of my own apartment. The money was in that drawer, actually, where you found the papers. But you probably threw that out with the rest of my things, thinking it was nothing more than a useless envelope. What? No way. You're telling me that the money was in with all the other things I tossed out? But once I found out you both really did throw all my things away, my eyes were opened. Why did I think it was a good idea to leave money for two full-grown dipshits? That's what I started to question myself about. You both don't even deserve a cent from anyone, and thankfully you helped me realize that in the end. Then had I not gone and thrown all your things out... That's right. You both would have gotten some money from me. That really sucks for you, doesn't it? Like salt in your freshly cut wound. No way. Oh, what the hell have I done? Hey, please. My eyes have been opened now as well. I totally understand where things went wrong. So, could you please think about giving us the money you planned on handing over before? No way. My eyes have been opened to the fact that you both don't deserve anything from me. I won't even bother to send you €1. That's how I feel about the two of you now. I'm sorry, but I have a ski trip to get going to now. Please, I promise to work from now on. I'll do literally anything to make the money you give us back for you. I'll get myself a part-time job even if that helps. What? That's a bit strange of you, Mary. I thought you told me that working part-time was something only high schoolers were allowed to do. After that, Mary, who had just been kicked out of that high-rise apartment I used to rent, had to start working at a canning factory part-time, while living at a very run-down and dirty old apartment next to said factory. The factory canned things like seafood, so not only did she have to smell fish all the time at work, but after work as well, since the smell had permeated all throughout her small apartment. The work she does is very tough, as she's on the night shift and is the only person working on her line, which means she has nobody else to ask for help from and is forced to learn how to support herself again. I'm sure that's all really difficult for her to deal with now, since she came from such a wealthy family, but I'm sure even that family knew how to support themselves, and she just so happened to never learn that from them. As for Nolan, things didn't end as well for him, as soon after the scammer group found him and beat the living hell out of him for stealing. The police showed up and arrested the whole group. The leader of said group told the police Nolan was working for them as well, and so all of them ended up going to prison for a little while, as the group has scammed people out of over $300 million. At first, Nolan had to be taken to the hospital and stayed there for about 3 months due to all the injuries he sustained from being beaten up by the group. From the reports that were made, he suffered things like a fractured skull, a broken nose, lost teeth, ruptured spleen, ruptured kidney, broken ribs, and fingers. That group must have been really upset with him for joining their group for a day and stealing $8,000 from them. But after his time in the hospital was over and he was sort of able to walk again on his own, he was booked right into prison so he could join the rest of his friends. After about a year or so, though, the police realized that he hadn't worked with them for very long at all, and so he was released, although he had to keep the fact that he was in prison on his permanent record. He then ended up doing pretty much the same thing as his mother was doing, working in a smelly factory that cleaned and packed raw chicken. He's living in a share house with some other ex-convicts as well, and has started to work on paying off all the debt he ended up in after divorcing me and going to prison. I hope this new life for him will help him realize how spoiled he was in the life he had under my protection, and that he shouldn't have let his tiny little pride get in the way of all that. As for myself and my trip in Europe, it had been a very long one, but I ended up finally coming back home and getting back to work within my company's office. I didn't think that I would be away for close to a year like that, but like I told the COO and the rest of my company, I had a lot of stress from the life I had lived with Mary and Nolan and really needed all the time I could get to get rid of it. Things like swimming in the Mediterranean and skiing in the Alps really helped me start to forget those two. And enjoying the foods of Italy, France, Germany, and Sweden were just what I needed to recharge my soul. I was even able to find a new man out there while visiting the UK. But for the time being, we'll keep things relaxed and see how this long-distance relationship goes, because I really did need to get back to my company in the office. I no longer have to worry about two parasites being in my home anymore, so I've had all the time and mental space in the world to put towards work. And that has led my company to grow far more than before and bring in even more money. Hopefully, a few more years as the CEO of this company helps it expand to points most companies have never been before in such a short span of time. And then once I've made enough money, I can resign and move out to Europe for good. And hopefully I'll still be with my new man in the UK. I really am so happy Mary and Nolan chose to kick me out of my apartment back then, because it really did help me seal the deal of leaving them both behind.
Hey, are you really still at Mom and Dad's house? Because, that would be pretty interesting if you still lived there.
What? Hi, Gracie. Whatever ended up happening with you?
Before we talk about all of that, I want to talk about how crazy it is that a woman in her 40s is still living with her mom and dad. Are you not embarrassed to be living with those two still?
Hold on a minute. It's been 10 years since you and I last talked to one another. And this is how you're going to start the conversation off? Where are you right now? Are you coming back home or something?
I just got back into town a bit ago. I went to have a look at how the house and Mom and Dad have been doing. And as I was out on the street having myself a good look, you came out of the house and surprised me. I was thinking you had moved away and gotten married already.
Well, I'm sorry. I have a lot of things going on with my life right now, so that's why I'm still around here and don't have a husband yet.
People that can't get married tend to say things like that a lot. I'm busy, or I have things going on. Well, whatever. Anyhow, I was pretty happy to get a good look at my older sister's face again after it's been so long. Now, I'll be going. Goodbye.
What? But you came all the way back to town, right? So does this mean you'll be living at home with all of us again?
That's kind of the plan, yes. So that's why, you need to get out of that house for me, please.
What?
Right now, I'm carrying a baby in my belly. I was thinking it'd be nice to come back home and have Mom and Dad take care of me while I'm pregnant, so that's why I'm here. I'm afraid that by having a single woman in her 40s who is still leeching off her parents to provide her a place to live and money might end up causing there to be some problems with my baby. So please, make it quick and get out of the house.
Wait, but if I have to leave the house, what will happen with Mom and Dad?
They'll be fine. I like to think that both Mom and Dad are far better than you, so they'll be completely fine with me. They even said it themselves that they'd rather have me in their house.
Wait, did you already talk with them about this?
We did. They think this whole idea of having me come home to replace you is a great plan. They were both so happy to hear that I'm coming back to live with them. That just goes to show that even after a decade has gone by, they still love me the most. Also, it's looking to me like they are sick and tired of you.
Sick and tired of me? I'm not sure they were talking about me.
Hey. Why would you try and say they were talking about me like that? Are you seriously not ashamed of yourself to be living with your parents still in your 40s? Well, I'm coming home now to have my baby, so a parasite like you needs to go.
Are you really sure that's what you want?
Get out of my way by the end of today.
So you're really feeling comfortable having me leave Mom and Dad's house? I'm telling you now that if I have to go, I will never be coming back, all right? I won't even bother to worry about anything that has to do with you and the house anymore.
You know, that's exactly what Mom, Dad, and I all want from you. You being in that house still is only causing problems for the rest of us.
So this means you'll be taking good care of both Mom and Dad in my absence, right?
Well, of course. They already seem to be doing very well by themselves, so... And if things get really out of hand for those two, I'll pay to have them placed into an old folks' home.
You do realize that doing something like that will cost a lot of money, right? Are you really okay with that?
Those two have a lot of money, right? Our family's always been pretty well off, so by having them both pay to leave this house and be taken care of by pros, I'll have the whole place to myself.
I hope you realize things were all right in the past financially.
I get it now. You are trying to keep me away from both Mom and Dad because you want to inherit everything from them, right? You really are a sly old woman, aren't you? This is why they've both come to hate you so much. You always did try and act like you were in charge of things all the time. How annoying all of that was.
So you are totally okay with having me leave that house forever and never ever coming back to it? Gracie?
I'm telling you, we are all wishing for it. You go out now and find yourself a new place to call home, okay? Don't tell me. You have no more money. I suppose that'd be the case, considering how long you've been leeching off of Mom and Dad.
I have money, so I'll be fine. But do you have enough money to manage things?
Well, of course I do, Tiffany. I have loads of money at my disposal. Now, I'll be getting all your things for you and throwing them out in the front yard, okay?
What? Hey, wait a second. Don't do that to my things.
Why can't I do that? You're no longer the leader of this house or anything, right? That means that this place is now ours again, and I can do whatever I want with the things that are in this house. If you don't like having me manhandle your things, then maybe next time don't leave them all in this room here.
Hey, hold on. A lot of that stuff I use for my job.
I'm sure your job is pretty meaningless anyway, right? I'll make sure all your monitors and your laptop get chucked the furthest for you. That way you don't have to worry about managing all the cables and stuff as you leave.
Why the hell would you do that? Is there really any reason for you to be tormenting me like this?
I have always hated the sight of you, as you tried to make yourself look like this good little girl in front of everyone. I don't care that you had all those good grades and were able to make so many friends. You had no right always acting like you were the best.
I was never trying to act like I was better than anyone else. And if anything, wasn't it you who was always being spoiled by mom and dad and never took anything seriously?
Anyhow, I really do hate your guts.
Well, so what? You can't just start taking all of my things and throwing them out into the yard because of the past.
I honestly never thought I'd come home to see you still living here. You'll only be around for today, so I have to make sure I bully you with what little time I have left.
Why the hell are you being such a jerk still?
Look, if you don't hurry home and get all your things, they will all be out in the front yard. That, I'll have you know, is still wet from the sprinklers.
Stop that. I'm coming back home right now. Ugh. Why is something like this happening now of all times?
It's because you've been trying to live off mom and dad for far too long when all you really are is a brain-dead loser. And now that you're fully aware of how we all feel, you don't have to come back here again. Gracie is saying that she'll be around now to take care of us, so there's no need for you anymore.
So you're really going to be cutting me out that easily now? Even though I gave up so much for you and Dad?
You're our daughter, so it's a part of your job to do that for us as a good child, right? Gracie is telling us that she has a lot of money now, and more than you even. She also just looks a lot better than you, physically. So we really don't need you around us anymore, Tiffany.
How hurtful, Mom. Has this always been the way you thought of me as your daughter? Perhaps you haven't even thought of me as your daughter since you used me for everything. Cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, and even my money.
You made sure to get a housekeeper for us so that you didn't have to clean anymore. So how about you stop trying to act all tough by saying you've done everything for us?
Had I not hired someone to come and help, I would have never had time for my job. I have a job that had been paying for all of us, and it was also that job which was helping pay off yours and Dad's debt.
And from now on, Gracie will be handling all our debts, so we don't have any use for a child like you, right? Thank you for everything you helped out with.
Does Gracie even know about all of that?
By all of that, do you mean our debt? There's no reason to tell her about it. She told us right to our faces that from here on out, she's going to be our best daughter. So there's no reason to tell her anything because she already knows.
She's trying to be your best daughter. I don't think she has any idea what she's getting herself into, and I think you and Dad expect too much from the idea of what a good child is.
No matter what you try and say about us, Gracie seems to have way more money than you now, so we'll take her over you any day. Also, Gracie happens to be carrying a baby. That means she's still healthy and is looking after a family. You've never gone out and done anything to try and make a family, so both your dad and I have lost total faith in you.
I never had the time to go out and find a man, since I never had any days off. And we know who's to blame for that.
You can't be blaming others for your own faults, Tiffany. I guess it really doesn't matter how old you've become. You're never going to grow into a respectable adult.
And look who's talking. Well then, I'll just let you both get into trouble then by letting Gracie back into your house. Just be aware, I'm cutting ties to all of you now.
Go right ahead and piss off. I'm sure you're only wanting to cut ties to all of us because you're too jealous of your younger and more attractive sister, right?
I really do not give a damn about any of you.
All right. I hear you loud and clear. Hey, Tiffany. Listen, does Mom have any debt right now? Well, I just heard Mom on the phone talking with someone. She was talking about things like money with them and about paying some things off soon. I'm not sure if I was hearing it all clearly or not, so...
Well, you're pretty spot on with what you heard. Mom is in a lot of debt. Around $300,000 or so.
Huh? What? 300,000?
Also, she ended up getting into debt with a rather shady group of people. I was there to help pay a little bit of that debt over time, but now that you're in charge of her and Dad, you'll continue to pay that debt off for Mom, right? Mom was so happy to hear all of those things from you. About how you'd be stepping in for me now with all that money you have to help her pay off her debts.
What? I never said anything like that to her.
Even if you didn't say exactly that, you did say you'd be taking care of them from now on, and paying off that debt is a part of it.
But even if you say that, what the heck, 300,000? Why is she in that much debt?
Right after you ran away from us 10 years ago, the company that Dad owned went bankrupt. Had that been all that happened to him, then things would have been all right. But both Mom and Dad went off the deep end after filing for bankruptcy and started to gamble their worries away.
They started to gamble? And wait, Dad's company went bankrupt?
It did. And so for the past 10 years, neither of them have stepped up to start working again. So with all their free time, they'd go back to the casino again and burn their money. That's why I ended up having to take their place as the breadwinner of the house and work my job while paying off their debts. All while coming home and trying to get any chores done that I could.
Then the one who's responsible for them and Mom's debt now would be...
That's right. You went and took that responsibility from me. That's why from now on, I'm sure things will be very tough for you. So do your best.
Are you freaking kidding me? Why did nobody ever tell me about any of this before I came and took your place?
Well, I was thinking of telling you about it, but you were in such a rush to move into the house and have me kicked out.
So that's why Dad has always been at home this whole time. I asked him a few times how the company's been, and all he'd reply with is an, well.
I see. So it seems even Dad is still trying to keep what pride he has left. He must really enjoy having a daughter around that still had no clue he was no longer running a company.
Hey, can you please come back here? I can't live with these two in a situation like this. This is not the kind of house a pregnant woman should be living in.
No, thank you. I am never going back to that house and you guys ever again. I asked you plenty of times if you were really okay with kicking me out, and you said of course you were okay with it.
But I told you at the time I had no clue about the reality of Mom and Dad.
That does not matter. I have no reason to be helping you out any, and you sure should not be asking me for help after what you've done.
All my plans are starting to fall apart now.
Your plans are falling apart? What do you mean by that? Was there an alternative reason for you coming all the way back to be with Mom and Dad now?
I really can't use any of you guys for anything, can I? You all have so many problems. Nothing has changed at all in these past 10 years since I left you all. I'm done here. I guess I'll have to take what I can get.
Hey, what were you planning to have happen by coming back? What do you even mean by that? You'll have to take what you can get.
Shut up already. This has nothing to do with you now.
Weren't you the one that started talking with me asking for help? Don't be such a bitch and tell me what's going on with you.
Hey, what should I do? My purse and wallet are missing. I made sure to put it back in my backpack and all, yet it's not in there now. Why?
Huh? Why are you asking me something like that? I don't care about what happened to your stuff, and even if I did, I'm not living anywhere near you anymore.
You took it with you, right?
Ugh. I thought I told you already that I'm not going to help you. If you keep texting me about your problems over and over like that, I'm going to have to block you. You don't want that, do you?
What? What the hell is wrong with you, Tiffany?
Look at yourself before you start saying that crap about me. You really are more like Mom than I am. Well, fortunately enough, she likes you the most, and that's why she's most likely gone and taken your purse and wallet from you.
What?
Mom is not the most kind person, you know. I'm sure inside your purse you didn't just have cash, but all your cards and ID, right? I think she took all of that and ran.
Why? Why would Mom do something like that to her favorite daughter?
You're asking me why? The reason is as clear as day. She only cares about you because you're bringing money into the house, so she's going to make sure she gets that money. And I mean, you didn't help your situation at all, did you? Coming back after 10 years bragging about how you had more money than me? I'm not sure if you really do have all that money or not, but you having said all that to Mom made you her new target.
But when I came back here, I was still assuming that Mom and Dad had a lot of money and wouldn't care to get mine. The house is so huge and all. I thought that by telling them I was rich too, they wouldn't mind having me living in the house over you.
Don't tell me it was all a lie and that you really don't have anything. No. Gracie, did you come back home looking for money from Mom and Dad?
What? Hold on. That wasn't part of the plan, but,
So I was right about that. I see. You were having some money troubles, and so you came back home after being gone for a decade, acting all cool like you were just wanting a place to have your baby.
And so what? It's not like any of this has to do with you, right?
I'm just saying you came back to your parents who are worried about money, all because you're worried about money. That situation you're all a part of is going to get really dirty, real quick, I think. Oh, thank goodness. You were able to be accepted right back into your mom and dad's home. And thank God I was able to get out of there before things started to go sideways.
Hey, Mom. My purse and wallet aren't in my bag like they should be. Do you have any idea where they both could have went?
What? If you're looking for those two things, I have them on me. I mean, you are back living at home with your dad and I again, so that means we all share our money, right? I'll give you your ID and insurance card back, so make sure you come see me to grab them.
What? All of that money inside my purse and wallet is for something important. I would really like it if you gave all of my things back to me.
Why should I do that? You came back into our house because you're going to be taking care of your mom and dad in Tiffany's place, right? Then it shouldn't be a problem that I have your purse and wallet on me.
But, there's really no need for you to be holding on to my things, right?
Oh, but there is. So I'll make sure to hold on to them for you. We made a promise after all, right? You could come back to live with us as long as you took great care of Dad and I. So that also means from now on, every month, I'll need you to help me pay off my debt.
But wait, just wait.
You were also saying before that you have a lot of money, right? That's what you said right to my face. Then it really shouldn't bother you at all that I have your money and credit cards, right?
But Mom, I'm going to have a baby soon.
Oh, that's right. And how is your husband doing? If he doesn't mind, call him and let him know he can move in with us. I'm sure he's working a pretty serious job now too, right?
Well, he is working a job, but...
Well then, how about you give me his number and I'll give him a call so that I can ask him personally. I would also like to have a word with him since it'll be my first time speaking to him. Now, can I have his number, please?
Let me think about it. Actually, let me go have a word with him about it first, Mom.
His name is Patrick, right? Oh, what a wonderful name. Now, why do you have to go talk with him and get his permission? He was the one that married you without my permission back when you ran away from us after all.
Mom, what has gotten into you? You're acting just a tiny bit strange right now.
Also, when you have that baby of yours, you'll be getting some money and stuff from your friends and husband's family, right? I would really like to talk with him about that money. So now, would you please give me Patrick's number so that I may call him?
I can't, Mom. I'm sorry.
What do you mean you can't give me his number? Excuse me, Gracie? Respond to me right now.
Hey, Gracie. I just got a call from one of your old classmates from high school. They were saying that a Patrick is looking for you right now. Tell me, what the hell is that all about? Isn't Patrick the guy you were dating way back in junior and senior year?
I am married to Patrick now, actually. 5 years ago, him and I met again at a class reunion that was being held, and, well, things just got going from there. And this baby I'm carrying, it's Patrick's kid.
Is that right? I remember him being a pretty good man back in the day. So, what's going on here?
I'm sure you can already tell after that call, right?
Well, I have a couple of guesses, but the one that seems to make the most sense is that you went and cheated on Patrick, and when he started asking for a settlement from you, you ran. And that brought you all the way back here, right? But look, what are you going to be able to do once that baby is born? You can't keep running from him forever, can you?
I know that already. But I can't pay the amount he's asking for, so I had no other choice but to run. That's why I came all the way back to Mom and Dad's place, hoping they'd be able to help me out financially. But those two don't have any money whatsoever, and it's to the point where they might need to sell the house.
No way, you can't sell the house. Both Mom and Dad took a major loan out on that place and are still paying it off.
What?
And unfortunately, the only inheritance those two will be leaving behind will be that house. Although, I'm not even sure if it'll be paid off by then. So as of right now, there's no way you can sell it.
I see. Then what am I going to do here?
How about you ask the man you cheated on Patrick with for help?
I can't. That man's wife also found out about what was going on, and I'm no longer able to get any responses from him.
So you both were cheating. You really have been having the time of your life, huh?
None of this has been fun, though. What should I be doing here, Tiffany? Mom went and took both my purse and wallet from me and won't give them back. Patrick is out looking for me right now, wanting his money. I don't have any money right now. There's a kid coming soon, and I have nobody else to ask for help. What am I going to do?
How about, for starters, you tell Patrick where you're at right now?
Huh?
He will come to see you, and then you both can head to the hospital together. There you can then have your baby, right?
Why would you think I can do all of that?
Well, it's either you have that man come and get you, or you stay at that house with Mom and Dad and wait for Mom to be arrested. Which situation would you like to be a part of? Will you be able to continue running with that massive gut of yours?
I can't run anymore.
Then you listen to me and don't say a word. I'll be coming to you soon with Patrick, all right? I am extremely pissed off with you, but you are supposed to be having that baby soon. And I do not want that baby being born on the street.
Tiffany, I have finally started to realize something. You weren't acting all high and mighty all this time. You just happen to be a well-put-together woman who's able to take action whenever you need to.
What?
And the only reason I was able to live my life so freely for so long was because of what you were doing. And with both Mom and Dad, you took action and made sure to care for them when I ran off and Dad's company went under, right? That's the kind of strong and independent woman you are. But Tiffany, why did you waste all your time caring for those two worthless losers?
So you're finally starting to see some of the larger picture. I did take action and looked after Mom and Dad all this time because I'm their daughter. And I have to thank you for my ability to put up with everything for so long. If it wasn't for you always being spoiled by Mom and Dad, while always treating me like crap, then I would have never started to hate you. And well, that hate played a key role in becoming more strong and independent.
Tiffany, I hope you being my older sister will make you forgive me someday.
Huh? Who's your older sister? I never said that I was still your older sister, and there's never going to be a day where I go back to being one. Did you forget about the day you all kicked me out of that house and you threw all my expensive things out into the yard, breaking them? Even though I said I was coming home to get them all from you? Yeah, well, if you forgot about that, at least you've been reminded about it now. I'm going to make sure you pay for all that stuff you broke.
What?
You thought I just let you get away with that crap? I want to make sure you're held responsible for that stunt, and this is how I'll make that happen. I want you to pay for all the things of mine you broke, and then I want you to pay that settlement Patrick is asking you for.
But I told you I have no more money. How many times am I going to have to say that to you?
You just think that because you have no money, you don't have to pay for anything? I'm sorry, but you're not in elementary school anymore, Grace. You go out and get yourself a damn job, or you find someone to borrow money from right now. If you're not able to do either of those things, then don't ever expect to be helped by anyone.
All right already.
All right then. That better be a promise. I'll be bringing along official documents as well, so make sure you read and sign all of them, okay?
Why has this happened to me?
Because you thought you could run away and then leech off mom and dad's money.
Hey, Tiffany, what the hell are you up to right now? You just took Gracie away from us. If you're taking her away, then you come back to this house and take her place.
Mom, give it the hell up already. How about instead of using your daughters for every little thing, you actually get off your ass and do something? I've had enough of your crap, and so has Gracie now. She also can't bother with you both now because she has a baby to give birth to.
You and Gracie have always hated one another, though, right? Why did you come back here to help her get away? When Gracie has that kid, she'll be getting all kinds of money from her husband's family and friends.
No matter how much I hate her and she hates me, I'm still human. And considering she's my little sister, I have to do something to get her out of harm's way. If she had to stay with you any longer, you'd most likely get her and that baby killed taking all her things.
Did you just tell your own mom that she'd get your sister and her baby killed?
I sure did, and that's because you and Dad, are terrible people. The worst. I have had to watch you all my life taking money not only from me, but from your younger daughter now who is going to have a baby. I already hated the fact that you and Dad took advantage of me, but I was at least making enough money with my job to make things work. But I'm out of that situation you guys have made for yourselves now, and I think by losing both your daughters, you have a good chance to turn yourselves around.
How dare you talk about your dad and I like that? Shut the hell up and come home right now. Tonight the damn collector is coming here. If I have to tell them I can't pay them tonight, who knows what'll happen to us?
Well, luckily for me, I don't care what happens. Hopefully something so bad that I never have to hear from you again.
Huh? No, wait, this is all your fault. It's all your fault that things have turned out like this, so you'll be to blame for everything.
And this is why you're no longer worth anything to me. Always have to blame everyone but yourself. It's kind of like you got so used to being spoiled by Dad and his company that you forgot what it was like to be a decent human being. Well, thank God those people you got into debt with aren't very into spoiling people. Let's hope tonight is not the night you and Dad both get what's been coming to you. After that, I had Gracie taken to the hospital, and there she had her baby while also having to be watched by her husband, who was very upset. Although something like having her first child should have been one of the best memories for her, she was also met by a lawyer that Patrick brought along, stating there'd be a divorce and that she'd have to pay up. There was also the bills coming from me for all those things of mine she broke out in the front yard. So really, you could say the day she ended up having her first child will go down as one of the worst memories she'll ever have. As for how she'd be paying everyone, she didn't have any money herself, so she had to start getting some loans from very shadowy people. And the day after giving birth, her baby was taken by Patrick. Now Gracie is out of the hospital and has started to work on finding multiple jobs for herself so that she can begin the long process of paying her debt off. I still keep in touch with her from time to time, but only to see if she's still alive and to make sure she's paying the child support she owes her ex every month. When it comes to my mom and dad, they both had no means of paying off the debt collectors that night and ran away from their house. They were able to stay on the run for a few days, but soon their luck was up and they were caught. The last thing I got from them was a text from my dad saying that he had taken care of Mom and they were coming for him next. I'm not too sure if that means what I think it means, but if that's the case, then so be it. I guess those two should have taken life a bit more seriously years ago, but I'm not really complaining. As for myself and how things turned out, I moved a town over and I'm living in a newly renovated townhouse by myself. Not having to take care of those two rotten parents has really left me feeling healthy again and like I can breathe some fresh air in for once. I might be in my 40s now, but I'm finally feeling like the freedoms of being an adult have finally come true for me. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.